Morning Express it is, and it is that moment where Zinzi is going to be joining me shortly. Zinzi, you may come in now, and I see you've made some coffee.
I have. Mine is black though, because I'm told you like yours white.
Yes, I like my white coffee.
So that's yours.
My coffee white. Thank you very much, and I will let you know how
it tastes. It's
you
good.
You don't do a very bad job.
And my chair goes down.
It looks like...
It's okay. I'll just
be upset. But how are you doing, Zinzi?
I am doing well. How was your week?
My week has been fantastic. It's been very good. It's been tiring. I've had a few, tiring incidences in between. I'll tell you about them.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, it's been good all the same. What about yours?
Mine has been amazing, Michael. I feel like this week so much has been happening. So it's one of those weeks that...
It's just been touch and go.
There you go.
Touch and go.
There you
anyway, yeah, this segment is where we look at some of the stories that were in the papers and online as well. But some of them basically would not make it as headlines, but they're interesting all the same. Now, we have to, first of all, this is a moment we have to capture. This is the debut. This is the debut part of the show where we've not done this before, so we have to do a selfie first.
We have to.
Yeah, there you go. And this is what we like to do right here on Hot Topics. But now, talking about phones, and we featured the iPhone 7 not too long ago. You remember when they had that amazing...
the big launch.
Yes, the big launch, which they had, although it was still criticized.
It was.
By some.
It was. I mean, there are those, tech experts, those tech geeks who will say, I wish Apple did this and that. Yeah. It's not as bad as Samsung's, though. I mean, the whole blow-up.
The whole blow-up, where you're not even allowed to use it in the airplane.
You can.
But now, what got my attention is this guy who basically has bought his dog iPhone 7s. We
discussed this on What's Trending yesterday. So let me bring you up. Let me bring you up to speed so quick with what happened. This dog is known as Coco. So Coco belongs to one of the most richest guys in China. In fact, Wang is the name of the owner, and is worth $30 billion US. So he goes ahead and buys not one, Michael, not two, but 7. No, sorry, 8. I'm so sorry. 7 iPhone 7s for the dog. Right now they've gone. What's the word I'm looking for?
There are quite a number of them, but why would you even buy 7 iPhones for a dog?
First world problems, Michael. First world problems.
I think this is rich people's problems, because honestly, why would you even consider? I mean, it's bad enough to buy one phone. It's bad enough to just get for a dog. Because you see, I mean, we're not talking about a child who maybe can use this phone or can utilize it in one way or the other.
What will a dog do with a phone?
What will a dog do with a phone? And then you look at the dog and it's probably thinking, these humans have issues. What's wrong with them? Why would you buy a dog 7 iPhone 7s? But anyway, this must be what I'd call rich man's problems.
On top of that, if you thought Coco made the headlines this year, or rather this time round, last year the owner bought her 2 Apple Watches. Now, the wristbands are worth, because they're luxury bands, the wristbands are worth $37,000 US. So this dog, Coco, made the headlines twice, last year and this year. This year, it's with the iPhone 7s, 8 of them for a dog. Well, some of us have none. It's all right. And last year, it was the Apple Watches. And let me tell you something, people were furious, especially back in China. It's like those rich kids we even saw last year who are burning money, literally.
Yes.
That is the same incident with this one. So even people online were asking, why go ahead and then post it? First world problems, Michael.
But now the question is, what does this guy do? Do we know what he does for a profession? Because my thinking is, for you to buy 7 iPhone 7s, whatever they are, iPhone 7 Plus, for a dog, I am questioning your ability to judge things. So I'm wondering, what profession is he in?
Well, he is an internet mogul. He belongs to one of the richest men also. His father, is one of those the richest back in China. And I like what you've said. You've pointed out the fact that if this is the case, how does he judge what is a priority when it comes to money?
Exactly.
Maybe, how will a dog use a phone?
Anyway.
Even though you bought the dog one phone, how does the dog use a phone?
And it just has to be the top of it. But anyway, maybe we're saying that because I remember talking to a friend who was telling me, the reason why sometimes we diss things is because we can't afford them. So maybe if we could afford them, we'd buy dogs.
All right.
7 iPhones.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure I'd do that. But anyway, on to other stories that were in the papers. And right here in Kenya, we're doing proud. There is one young girl who is known as Rita Kimani. She beat 18,000 18,000 contestants from 186 countries.
18,000.
Yes.
And I thought the CJ position was the hard one.
You thought that was difficult? Now, this Rita Kimani has done us proud. And this is because she has been selected as, or rather, she's in the top 17 world leaders in terms of meeting the MDGs. World
leaders?
Yep.
And she's only 17?
No, she's beat 17. She's top 17.
Top 17.
She's 19. I think she's 19. Yeah, but
what were you
there
doing
you
at
go.
19?
So, do you really want to know what I was doing at 19? I certainly was not in the top 17. That's for sure. But I thought that was something interesting to highlight. It was in the newspapers, but as usual, it was tucked in uko katikati.
No, you know what, really, Michael? She's called Rita.
Yes, Rita.
Rita has done us proud. The fact that, like you said, there were over 18,000 people, and within the SDG goals, it has come at a timely manner when the UN is holding their General Assembly.
Precisely.
And I feel like those are the leaders we need. And just also this week, I saw online an 11-year-old boy, Mark Zuckerberg, came across, and he's making his own app, you know, or rather he's made his own app, and it's on iOS. It's called Spike. This is an 11-year-old boy who is doing coding, and he's already has his own thing going on. These are young people, Michael.
And is he in school?
He is. He's 11. But the fact that it's so amazing to see people like Rita at 19 and this 11-year-old boy doing amazing things, feeding into society in extraordinary ways.
And literally making a difference in the world. So that, for me, with Rita, what I thought is that we certainly have a deficiency of leaders in Africa, generally. So to see young people coming up and, you know, literally becoming world leaders, and in a good way, then for me that was good. So Rita, congratulations, and keep up the good work. May you stay up there, as it was. The other thing that I found interesting was in yesterday's newspaper, I think it was The Standard, and this was to do with Ugandan members of parliament. And yeah, you do know that we are regional, so Uganda may be watching, so be careful. But it was interesting that they've awarded themselves 1.5 million shillings for their funerals.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, the politicians. And I thought ours were also a bit
I think there's just something about when you get into politics, I think something happens and reasoning capacity just seems to go out of the window. So 1.5 million shillings going towards a funeral, and they've awarded for themselves. And by the way, that 1.5 is actually divided into how it's going to be done. Part of it goes to coffins, another part goes to the food that is going to be served during your funeral and all that, which I thought was rather unfortunate. I wish they would put that money towards something else.
Leave alone that, are they premeditating their death?
Well, it is good to plan. And I know in the African context, sometimes we find it taboo, yes, to plan and even think about your funeral. But you know, the truth of the matter is, the only thing that we know is that all of us, one day, we gonna go down that road.
But then again, you see, if this was personal money, I feel like that's okay, you know? But this is taxpayers' money, yeah? That taxpayer you've gotten and you've collected this 1.5 million for your funeral, manenos. What about that taxpayer when they pass away? I wish they did something better with it, like put it into education, you know?
Yeah.
Or,
well, I don't know if it's consolation or it's unfortunate that, well, it looks like it's not just our MPs who basically have very interesting things that they decide about.
I've got to ask a question. What is it about our African politicians? Is it just us, or is it that the politicians in other countries are very, very good at hiding such notorious deeds? Yes, I know that they're there and they do it, but I feel like for us, it's every single day there's something being done, and it's question marks are around it.
And it's from bad to worse. So anyway, talking about expenses and money, there was also another very interesting article that I saw, basically with the world's most expensive toilet.
Oh, 18 karat.
Gold.
So, yes.
Why would anybody
would you pay
make
to use
a
it?
toilet? Well, it depends on how much it costs to use it. And you see, the thing is, if you're asking me whether I'd pay to use it, it depends on, do I carry bits and pieces of the toilet? If I'm able to carry bits and pieces of the toilet, then by all means, I will use it.
Oh my goodness, 18 karat solid gold. Let me tell you, the toilets that amaze me, the toilets that I would actually, if, you know, God willing, the bank account allowed, if I would do that, I would probably buy the ones that are What's the word I'm looking for? The ones that open. You know, when you open the door, then the seat of the toilet automatically opens.
Oh, yes, yes.
Now that, I find it amazing. I find it better than the 18
yeah.
solid.
And I saw some. By the way, we have those that you can literally walk in. The minute you put on the light, it begins to warm the seat. Because let me tell you, when July hits, that seat can be cold, very cold. But anyway, now for you to make a solid gold, 18-karat gold toilet, well, I think you have, I would say, a lot of money. I was going to say you have more money than sense. But maybe we'll walk, let's just walk to the planner here where possibly we can have a look at this. And for those of you at home, hopefully you can see this. But yeah, would you pay to use it?
Michael,
is it more expensive than the average toilet?
Of course.
Are they charging to use it?
Solid gold, Michael.
It's solid gold, but the thing is, whatever is going into it is not
it's
gold.
The same.
It's the same.
You have a point. But like I told you, imagine I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. Even though
for me, I think if I was to pay, I would pay for it just for the experience.
What you should experience is those hot seats we were just talking about.
Oh,
the ones the door automatically opens. And when you open your toilet door and the seat of the toilet also opens and it warms it for you.
And that, do you know what that would do? That would also solve a world age problem, which I can tell you. You'll always find that guys and girls are always fighting. Why do you leave the seat up? Why do you leave the seat down? Why do you leave the seat up?
Oh my God. But why do you guys leave the seat?
Okay, let's not have that discussion right now. Okay, thing is, why have it down? Until the same ones who are going to complain in case you find that it has manenos. Told you we should not have that discussion here.
This is another story for another day. But that's an interesting story. That's very interesting.
So the other thing that was also online was to do with a lady who found a rat. It's unfortunate we're having that.
Yes. I know, and it's chicken. Chicken lovers, and it's chicken. Here you go. And it was literally a rat, and it's so small. God knows what would have happened if she didn't spot it, yeah? It kind of reminds me of one coffee shop here in Kenya, just one that was trending about a month ago. One Kenyan found a worm inside their plate of food. So what is it with the fast food
What would you do if you find a worm in there? Because honestly, for me, I think I'd close that chapter in regards to that particular food outlet. Although I remember there was a time also not too long ago, there was a chicken outlet as well in Kenya, a very famous one. I don't want to give you the name, but there was, I'm not sure how true it was, but there were pictures that are going online. You know how you have that crusty, nice skin on top, and that's the one you die for. So somebody peeled it off, and guess what was under? Worms. Do you remember that?
Actually,
or something like
you
that.
say that, and I've actually remembered that. And why does it have to be the chicken? Why?
Had to be chicken.
Why does it
well,
have to
it's
be
for all chicken lovers to know that once in a while you can also change that. But anyway, woman finds rat head in Popeye chicken
in fact,
meal.
The picture is there. The picture of that small rat. So you can see how small it is. Oh my goodness. And what would have happened if she didn't see it? It's very scary. I don't know what happens in those kitchens.
Well, talking about kitchens, honestly, if you think of what happens behind the scenes in the kitchens, you'll never eat fast food or in a restaurant for that matter. Finally, there was also the young man who's basically not stopped growing. He's already 7 feet.
Brock Brown, yes. He's already, exactly. And Sultan, who is from Turkey, is what, 8 feet and 2 inches. He's already 7 inches. And he's already that tall. He's a teenager.
And looking at him, it looks like he's having issues carrying his body. He's not very, I mean, look at that. He doesn't even need to dunk. He literally just stands. Has he got a problem with his legs or something?
I was actually reading this article, and the doctors said it's actually a syndrome that he's been diagnosed with. Even though it doesn't cause major health risks, this is something that is very common. Apparently, 15,000 people in the world have this issue. Yeah, and on top of that, they have to have special beds made for them, special seats, such as brown. They have to have special clothes made for them.
Anyway, you can go online, you'll find all that, and you can catch up and just read about that. So let's wind up right here for some of those stories that have been making headlines. And when we come back, we are going on to hot topics. So do stay with us. What has been a hot topic for you? Do let us know. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with hot topics right here on Morning Express.